released quite a few different things, like hats and stickers and mugs. But I only got a few things. One of the things I got were some of the puzzles. So this is the puzzle for the Kanto Viridian Forest. And this was probably one of my favorite pieces from this line. I really love the way that the light is coming through the canopy of the trees, and it looks so lush and forested. I'm very much a fan of forest environments. So on this side you can see Explore Pokémon. They're all only 500 pieces. I tend to like at least 1,000 pieces, but 500 is good for just, a little afternoon activity. Another thing I really liked about this one is Butterfree. I love bug types. And the Butterfree on here is very cute. It's got this little kind of Pikachu logo on there. Very cute. I got 4 of these puzzles, which maybe is excessive, but puzzles are one of my favorite activities to do when you're just looking to unwind and relax and you don't really want to think too much. So the next one I got is the Mount Coronet puzzle for Sinnoh. This was one of my favorites as far as the design, and I picked the ones that I got based on the design rather than the region, because I don't know if I'd say Sinnoh's my favorite at all, but I really enjoyed Gen 3, so Hoenn, but I didn't get the Hoenn region puzzle. But it had a good design too. I mean, I would have gotten them all if I could, but this is one of the ones I picked. I love the way it's segmented in this very mountainous section here with Mount Coronet, divided here with the line of the forest, and then down into this field of flowers. You've got the swirl of the clouds up top. And it's fun that it has both Togekiss and this silhouette of Lucario. There's also some bird Pokemon here. I'm not quite sure if you can tell what they are, or like which Pokemon they are. So that is the Mount Coronet puzzle. The third one that I got is the Galar region, Glimwood Tangle. Glimwood Tangle is one of my favorite towns in Pokemon as far as aesthetic. I love the glowing mushrooms and the deep forest. It had a very fairy tale vibe, which was There's even a Pikachu here. I think that's all of them that are hiding. Very cute. This one might be a little bit harder as a puzzle because it's got a lot of black, but that shouldn't be a problem. And the fourth and final puzzle that I got is Paldea's Area Zero. I really loved Paldea and just Scarlet and Violet in general. And the climactic moment of entering Area Zero with the music and just how grand the area feels, and encountering these strange alternate forms of Pokemon, or paradox forms. Such an iconic moment. It just was so cool. So I saw this and I was like, this is definitely one of the ones I want to get. Screamtail here is really cute. Kind of turned to look at you, almost inviting you to enter. Got the text here, of course, Paldea, Area Zero. You can see Slitherwing there. There's even Sandy Shocks, one of my favorite of the Paradox Pokemon. And it looks like there's a little Pikachu tail poking out here. This art, I feel like, gives a good scale of, like, it's deep similar artwork to the puzzle, but not quite exactly the same. They took elements of it, like the waterfall and the bridge piece, some of the vegetation, and of course Screamtail here, and combine them all on here. But you'll see that the pose of Screamtail is different, and there's no bridge right above the Screamtail in the puzzle artwork, and the flowers are different. So similar, but not quite the same. But it gets across the same feeling, the same atmosphere. And the colors on the magnets are a bit more muted. There's not the full color of the dark pink on Screamtail's tentacle thing, or the rosy cheeks and that kind of stuff. This is made of a soft plastic, so it's a little bendy, but it's pretty thick. And looking at the back, it looks like there's probably, and you can kind of see there's an indent for the magnet, and there's some down here. I'm thinking there's probably 3 or 4 magnets in here, so it should stay magnetized fairly well. So I got 2 magnets. The other one I got, because again I wanted something that when I look at it every day makes me happy, and that will be Butterfree. I'm always happy to look at Butterfree, and this very cute foresty artwork. Same information on the back here, and then the front. We've got our very lovely Butterfree in a soft purple, and the light shining down behind it, and the trees, and Kanto. Very cute. I wish I could get all of the magnets, but since I can't, these were the 2 that I picked. Kind of fun to have the first Kanto, first region, and the most recent Paldea region. Okay, I did get 2 of the pins as well, because they had pins that were similar design to the magnets, because the magnet design and pin design is slightly different than the puzzles, but the So if you wanted to display it without anything between the pin back and, like if you just wanted it on a shelf or something, you might need to remove these if you don't want them to be visible. This size would be really good to display on like a backpack or a bag or something. I had a pin board where I would put a lot of my pins, backs of the postcards have the smaller pin slash magnet design, but in one color. Couple lines for an address, space for text, and the Explore Pokémon logo. I love the colors of this one. The pinks, blues, and greens are very nice. Hoenn is represented by the southern island, and Latios and Latias here. There's a whale lord in the water. I really like this design. It's very blue, very refreshing. I'm not the biggest fan of Latios and Latias. So if they picked a different Pokemon to represent Hoenn, I might have gotten that instead of one of these others, perhaps. And for Johto, we've got this as the other design. Meryl in front of the fountain, some bubbles. Alright, we know what Sinnoh's design is already, with Mount Coronet. And here is the little Hoenn design. It's shaped kind of like a ticket. Next up we have Unova, Gen 5. And for Unova, they picked Liberty Garden and a very cute Zorua. Very cool to see the city in the background with all the lights shining. Appears to be sunset, perhaps. Braviary flying there. And a little Emolga silhouette. There's a Pikachu tail. Here's the little Sinnoh design. Okay, Gen 6 Kalos is Lever City.